Crafting an album on behalf of a deceased artist is a strange thing to wrap your head around. At least it was, but ever since the tragic passings of the likes of Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, XXXTentacion, and King Von, it seems that we've been getting more content from the late rappers when they're gone from when they were actually here. But when their fame is at an all-time high, there is bound to be someone to capitalize off of their image and sound. And often it's the ones who are closest to them that can truly give that stamp of approval. Money can be an egregious motivator during cataclysmic times, but enough to potentially alter the image of a beloved artist and human? Hi, I'm John Cotter, aka Media Mayhem, and I want to talk a little bit about posthumous albums today. With all of these rappers that I just talked about having label placements before their passing, it only makes sense that these labels will try to milk their image dry, as the labels don't really seem to view the artists as people in the first place, just dollar signs that they think will grow over time. And for the most part, they've been financially successful in that journey. X, Juice, and Pop have all had literal albums worth of music that has been dropped by their respective labels, and it's kind of an uncanny feeling given that they're not here anymore. What would Juice think about music being released under his name without his permission or approval? What would Pop Smoke think about his drill verses being morphed into poppy ballads and failed radio hits? It leaves a bitter taste listening to something that the artist recorded, but truly not knowing how much it's been altered from its initial version. If there's been a beat added, a pointless feature thrown on top of it, or if the whole thing's just been rearranged stylistically. But I think more so than anything is the unhinged assurance from labels that this is Juice WRLD's album and this is X's album. Like, they created this, saying or trying to claim that they were as fundamental a part of this project as they were of the projects they put together when they were still here. When in reality, a lot of their posthumous work wasn't even stitched together or cohesively established when they were here. It comes across as greedy, but also proves that these labels don't give a damn about you unless you provide them a bottom line. And these artists clearly gave them that and so much more, so they'll foster the artist's legacy for as long as they fill up the bank. And for the artists with a cult following, that paycheck's gonna be rolling out for a lot longer than I think a lot of people think. This isn't to say that, all posthumous albums fall under this seething, profitable underbelly where dollar signs block out any semblance of art. Some of these albums were unintentionally posthumous, meaning that the artist was in the process of creating the music before their passing. Mac Miller was making Circles to be a companion piece to his previous album, Swimming, as the two separate pieces of work were meant to contrast each other stylistically and complete a circle. And I think the more prevalent examples outside of Circles also tarnish what Mac Miller's team was really trying to do with that project, which is to finalize the artist's vision, finish what they wanted to complete, and prove that when you put the art first, anything that's meant to be successful will be successful. But historically, posthumous albums have ended up being classics. And not all of them, but looking at Biggie's Life After Death, or even as something as old as Otis Redding's The Dock of the Bay, which went on to not only be his biggest and most identifiable song to date, but posthumously won him 2 Grammys. But now you look at something like King Von's aptly titled What It Means to Be a King. Von only had a few singles drop after his passing, which were probably just features that were already recorded and he was somewhat obliged to give in a way. Now he has an album to complement Welcome to O Block, which is probably what the label wanted, but I'm happy to see that Von's team and management didn't rush a project out or try and capitalize off of his virality. Although, if you look on his YouTube channel, these are some of the worst lyric videos I think I've ever seen. For me, it's always sad and tragic to see a passing artist's YouTube channel littered with their newest album's lyric videos as crappy 3D renders attempt to replace the sort of presence that the rappers had in their music videos. You can't recreate that kind of magic, and at the end of the day, it's content. It's content that's meant to generate income and keep the artist alive in a monetary way. It makes sense on one hand, and it's kind of disgusting on the other. But then all across the aisle, There's someone trying to do something right and getting their efforts now tarnished by the people that are going at it for a quick cash grab. From the most recent example being King Von, though, it seems that, they have taken the time with it and there is purpose behind it and its release, and that's the kind of respect that you should give to an artist whose career is in the hands of dozens and dozens of other people. Thank you as always for watching, listening to this. Let me know what you think about posthumous albums and what it means to sort of recreate an artist's legacy or try to continue that after they've passed. Please please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That would be awesome. Thank you so much.